First of all, I want to say Happy Women's Day. Today is the day where we can celebrate us as a woman, not as a girlfriend, not as a mom, not as a sister, not as a friend, simply to be a woman, and that can be celebrated in so many ways. And if you're spending today alone, if nobody sent you flowers, if nobody treated you special in a way to celebrate that Women's Day with you, let me tell you something right away. It doesn't mean that you're less worthy or less lovable just because you're spending that day alone. I know as women we naturally crave closeness, we crave connection, and we are wired to seek relationships. We are wired to bond. We are wired to seek emotional connection. But sometimes that need of connection makes us afraid of being alone, of enjoying solitude. We sacrifice parts of ourselves in order to stay in relationships or be simply surrounded by people, even if they do not serve us, even if it doesn't align with who we are. But honey, being alone doesn't mean that you are less worthy, doesn't mean that you are not enough. If anything, then being alone is actually an opportunity to pour all that love you pour into others finally into yourself. We are actually conditioned to believe that certain experiences are only good to experience with someone else on our side. But the truth is, most of our most transformative moments happen when you are alone, when you experience things by yourself as a woman. So whether you are used to do things by yourself or this is completely new to you and makes you feel uncomfortable, this video is for you, honey. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michaela and today we are going to talk about why every woman needs to experience these things at least once in life. Let's get into this. The first thing is living alone. Every woman needs to experience to live alone by herself with nobody else on her side. No child, no husband, no boyfriend, no mom, no siblings, nobody but herself. There is simply nothing that teaches you more than living alone. There is nobody telling you things to do, nobody washing your clothes, nobody creating your routine. You actually are completely by yourself and you need to focus on yourself. There is nobody else to focus on. As women, we tend to focus on whoever is with us. We want to please them, we want to be nice, we want to make them comfortable with us. So we also tend to change ourselves a bit. And when you are by yourself, you explore yourself in a completely different way. You explore yourself without any energies, without any people opinions, and let's say almost disturbances from someone else. When you live alone, even if it's not for a long time, even if it's just for a year, you actually get to know yourself from your deepest core. You learn your real habits, you learn your real hobbies, you learn what are your real routines that fit to you alone, not to somebody else, but to you. You simply create a space that is 100% created by you for you. When living alone, you gain independence, you gain a feeling of, I am strong, I can do this by myself. It doesn't mean that you have to live for the rest of your life by yourself, but it gives you a sense of independence, a sense of strength that even worst case, if something happens, you already lived alone once and you managed it once, you can manage it any time in your life. And you know what? It actually makes you really proud of yourself because you really get to know your strength. You really get to know who you are when nobody is next to you. The next thing is travel to a new city or country. I have done that many times. I actually love to travel alone because every time you travel alone, you gain so much confidence, you gain so much trust in yourself, and again, you learn to enjoy your time by yourself. You learn what you actually like to do. When you're on holiday with someone else, when you're traveling with someone else, you always need to compromise on something. You always need to compromise to find something that you are both happy with, that you both would like to do. And when you're by yourself, you don't have that. You can wake up when you want, you can go to see what and where you want, you can try out new things, and you meet new people, you connect more with other people because you have nobody on your side. And connecting with other people is another so important point. As a woman alone, connecting with someone else, of course, be careful, be mindful with that, but when you are in a new city or even country by yourself, it just feels like magic. Every time I feel like I'm not that confident, I lost a bit of my spark, what I do is I go to another city, no, I go actually to another country, and I just experience a new country by myself. I need to take care of myself. I need to watch out for myself. I need to be safe, right? I'm my own safety in another country. And when you do that, believe me, honey, it's changing your whole perception of yourself and also of the world and other people. The more cultures you see, the more your mind is expanding, the more you will understand and see of the world. Traveling alone is literally the most liberating things you can do. You will literally realize how capable and resourceful you can be when you're by yourself. And if you think that's a lot to ask for right now, to go to another city or even another country by yourself, start with a weekend trip. Go to the city next to yours and just spend there 2 nights in a hotel by yourself. That's already a start, and you will already start to feel this amazing feeling of traveling alone, and you will want more, believe me. The next thing is take yourself on a luxury date. I feel like we always wait for special occasions, we always wait for someone else to treat us. But why? We can do it ourselves. Honestly, just book your favorite restaurant, the most expensive in your world or the most luxurious for you, and simply go there by yourself. You deserve to experience beautiful things just because, and not because of someone else. You have to start to romanticize your life even without anyone else. Dress up for yourself, take the most beautiful dress you have, book that restaurant and go there. Eat the most expensive meal you can afford there, sip a glass of wine or a glass of mocktail, whatever, and just enjoy me time, enjoy time with yourself. At first it might feel super strange, but with time you will realize you actually don't need external validation to feel special, to feel beautiful, to feel that magic that you have already inside of you. You are already enough. You are already deserving of luxurious dinners. You are already deserving of the love you crave. Just give it to yourself. The next and fourth thing is make a big financial decision independently, or just make enough money to be self-sufficient. I know nowadays we all talk about we are queens, we want to be taken care of, we want our bills be paid, and yes honey, that's fine, there is nothing wrong with it. But believe me, money is power. There is also nothing wrong with having your own money and being able to take care of yourself. As women, we need to be comfortable with making big decisions, big financial decisions, without waiting for permission or approval, because it's our own money, right? If it's our money, we don't need to ask anyone. That doesn't mean you should say no to your husband or your boyfriend wanting to take care of you. But believe me, honey, financial independence is freedom. It means you will never ever have to stay in a situation where you do not want to stay because you cannot afford to leave. And that's the biggest gift you can give to yourself. Make that financial investment if you can. Buy a house, buy an apartment. If that's too much to ask for, invest in, I don't know, crypto. Start with a little bit, start with something small. Start taking your financial responsibility and start taking it seriously. The next thing is learn a new skill or a new hobby, not because you have to, not because it's useful, not because it will make you money, but because you would like to. It could be painting, it could be singing, it could be learning a new language or learning a new instrument. It could be going to ballet classes. Whatever it is, do it because it makes you joy to learn new things. For me, I started to go to dance classes and it was the most transformative time I had, because I really started to see myself and my body and love myself and do it just because of joy. I learned to finally have a hobby, and it was literally one of the best things I ever did. The next super simple thing is go to a movie or go to a concert by yourself. I know it sounds super awkward to go to a movie and to go to a concert by yourself, but honestly, once you do that, you will see how free you actually feel. You can dance when you are at a concert without feeling like you have to impress someone that is with you, or you have to keep playing your role that you're in. You can just be whoever you want to be when you're by yourself, because there is anyways nobody that knows you. So many people are afraid of this, and so was I until I did it for the first time. And I tell you, honey, it was amazing. You meet new people, you connect, or if you don't want to connect, like in a movie, you are just by yourself. And there is nobody, no one that you need to talk to, you need to share your thoughts to. You are just with yourself, and you really start to enjoy spending time with yourself. And apart from this, you actually can really enjoy the experience because there is nobody with you. I know that sounds like you cannot enjoy to the fullest when you are with somebody, but you mostly don't even realize how much you are focused on someone else when someone else is with you. You can only realize that once you do things by yourself, and then you will see how much of the experience people around you are actually taking it away. Of course, sometimes it's nicer and more beautiful to be with someone. I'm not saying go always everywhere alone, but do it minimum once. The next and seventh thing is handle a repair in your home or your car by yourself. Why do I say that this is something as a woman we have to experience by ourselves? Is because it creates some feeling of independence, of strength, when we are able to repair something by ourselves. And even if we're not able to repair something by ourselves, we know who to call, who to contact, who to ask for help. We know where to find the solution, right? And solution finding is something so masculine, is something every man is doing. But sometimes when we do that, we see actually how much of joy it can bring. I tell you, Nothing builds confidence more than solving a problem. And no, again, it's not about never needing support. It's about knowing you can handle it. In case there is nobody around you, you are not lost. You know you have the confidence, you can handle it. The next thing is go to a networking event alone. This was such a big thing for me. I did it actually twice in my life, and every time I was like, my legs were shaking. I was so nervous because I'm more of an introvert person, and I actually don't like to just talk to strangers. I don't like to connect to people I don't know. But once I did it, it brought me so many new contacts, so many insights, so many new views on life and people. At the end, walking into a room full of strangers and introducing yourself and then making connections with people there, it forces you to build confidence. You actually cannot run away from that. Most people, including me, are too afraid of rejection to do this. But when you push through that discomfort, you will notice people actually want to connect, and people are actually not as judgmental as you think. People do not judge you on what you judge yourself. People see you in a completely different way and in a completely different light than you do. This is so important to realize, because then you see yourself also from a different perspective. Whether you believe it or not, you have something valuable to offer. And you will notice that when you meet different people in your life. And when you're alone on a networking event, you rely on your confidence, you rely on your energy, and you rely on your personality. So when people want to connect with you, it's not because of that one friend, it's not because of somebody else, it's simply because of you, honey. There is something in you that attracts other people that want to connect with you. This experience is so important for career growth, is so important for expanding your social circle, and also in a way is important for expanding your social competencies and communication skills. Go to an event and go there with an open mind. Don't stress yourself out. Even if you do not approach people, believe me, people are gonna approach you. At the end of the day, every person is just as human as you are. And I tell you from my experience, from those two events I've been to, every time, first I didn't want to talk to anyone, but after a while I got approached a few times, I got very interesting contacts, I got to know very interesting people. Then I started to talk to people. I simply said to some girls, they look great, I love their outfits, and some of them turned out to be really big influencers, to be really well known. They are almost celebrities, and now we talk now and then with each other, because at the end we are all just human beings. Don't forget that. The next thing is go on a solo road trip or simply drive by yourself. I know us women, we like to be the passenger princess, we like to be driven around, but honestly, you have to also know how to drive by yourself, and you have to do it minimum once in your lifetime. Go for a ride in your car and ride a bit longer. I actually don't think that's a once in a lifetime. For me personally, think that's something you should really do consistently to also be confident while driving, because driving is only so much fun as good you can drive and as confident you are in driving. And you can only get confident in driving the more often you do it. So I wouldn't recommend to go on a solo road trip if you are just new to driving and you never did that before. Do that after you're really confident with driving, and then really enjoy the experience. If you drive the road a long way, you put on really loud music, it's something so freeing, it's something so special. You can stop wherever, whenever you want. You have that thrill of adventure. You can just stop to look at the sunset or the clouds. You are in control of your journey, and that journey is not only a solo trip in the car, it's your life journey that you are in control of. You can navigate life on your own terms. Believe me, you will never forget that feeling of freedom once you are a driver. Another side note, yes, you can be a confident driver. I don't believe in bad driver. I believe once you are training and doing it over and over again, you will be a good and confident driver. Trust me. I've been through periods myself, 1 year, 2 years, where I have not been driving at all, and my confidence was pretty low that time suddenly. And then I just knew, I felt it, I need to get into a car and drive again. And it scared me so much in the beginning because I was not used to it anymore, and it didn't feel something that would make me happy, but I did it. I pushed through it. And the first few times, again, I was super scared as I would first start driving in my life. But after that, that freedom, that joy came again. And now I know every time I feel a bit down, every time I feel like I'm lacking a bit of confidence, I'm lacking a bit of that spark, I go for a drive. I take the car and I simply go for a ride. The next and last thing is move to a new city or country. That's already very similar to living alone and traveling to another city or country. But honey, once you live in another country, that's another level of confidence that you will gain through that experience. Moving somewhere new by yourself, that's the biggest confidence booster you can get. It forces you to grow, to adapt, and to build your life from scratch. And in that process, you realize how capable you actually are. I have done that twice in my life as well, and it was the most transforming experience I actually had. This was so special to me to live. The first time I was moving to Barcelona, and Barcelona was so transformative for me. I actually got to know myself there. I was healing from my eating disorder there. I was by myself. I knew nobody there. I didn't even speak that language. I didn't have a job. I didn't really have savings. I simply went there and I never looked back. I just took my stuff and moved to Barcelona. I tell you, honey, it was so transformative. I got to know a new culture. It was the first time in my lifetime I really got to know a new culture. I was not traveling a lot when I was younger, so to move to a new country was humbling, was a confidence boost, was teaching me so many life lessons, and was healing me from a different level. And if I was again in my 18, 19 years old, I would do it over and over again. I have experienced stuff when I was alone in Spain where I really learned that I need to rely on myself. I learned to love my body. I learned to love myself. I learned to love life, because before that I didn't really enjoy to live. I didn't really enjoy to live in my body. And that was my first step to healing and to getting to know myself and getting to know other people. That was my first step to getting to know another version of myself that was not introvert. Because when you are in another country, you don't know anybody, nothing is similar to the version of you in that previous country. You really learn to discover yourself new from a completely different perspective. And you adapt new mindsets from different cultures. You adapt new things and you see, oh, this actually fits to me. You can only change so much as your environment does. And if you are in an environment where is not much growth and change happening, like the city I'm coming from, nobody there is open-minded. Nobody there is going out of the country even. Nobody there is really open for growth, I would say. And to move to another country was really life changing for me. And after you do it once, you have no problem to do it another time, another time, and another time. After 3 years in Spain, I moved back to my city and then I moved to Dubai. And Dubai was another experience, another culture on the other side of the world. You will think the second time it's more easy. It actually was not more easy. It was the same frightening. It was the same scary move I did, but it was so worth it. Again, I got to know new versions of me. I got to know a new culture. I got to know new languages. If you're thinking about moving to another city, I can recommend just book that holiday first. Book that holiday to that city you want to be in. And once you are there, opportunities will open up for you. If you want to stay in that country, in that city, believe me, opportunities will open up for you. God will make it happen. I want you to know, honey, everything I have shared today is about one thing only. It's about learning to trust and enjoy yourself. Because the more you do that, the less you settle. The less you seek validation from outside sources, and the more you know your worth. If any of these experiences feel scary to you, that's exactly why you need to do it. Because everything that is scary is outside of your comfort zone, and what happens outside of your comfort zone? Growth. Outside of your comfort zone happens growth, confidence, and the magic that you are waiting for. I think it's so important for a woman to be confident and to know whatever happens, you know you can do it yourself. You can survive yourself. It's one thing to be able to survive, and it's another thing to know that you are able to survive. You will never ever have to settle for something that doesn't serve you anymore if you have done all of these 10 things minimum once in your lifetime. Start and pick only one thing from the list and challenge yourself. And when you do, come back and tell me how it changed you. When you did already, let me know in the comments. Let me know in a message on Instagram what you did and how much it changed your life. Anyways, guys, I hope this could help some of you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. See you in my next video. Bye bye.